What is up? Doing a brand new track review for the brand new track by Black Sabbath, God is Dead. Now, I don't need to give a history lesson on Black Sabbath. They're the inventors of heavy metal, the pioneers of heavy metal. Everything that I love from fucking bands like these are inspired by their music. And they're just a timeless classic and one of the greatest bands to ever exist. Now, it's been quite some time. I think '95 was the last time there was a Black Sabbath record, but the last time they had Ozzy was 1978. And this is basically part of their reunion. They've come all back together with the exception of Geezer, who has sadly left. Not Geezer, oh my god, Bill Ward. I'm so sorry for that. Bill Ward, who was their drummer and left. But they got a new drummer, I think his name is Brad. And I won't get too much into a history lesson, but let's start with the song. This will be up their new album, 13, coming out in June. Can't wait. One thing, let's go with the production real quick. The production of this is actually really good. A lot of people were worried it wouldn't quite have the Sabbath magic of like Master of Reality or the self-titled album, but it works really well. Geezer's bass is incredibly audible, and I like that a lot. It's also very heavy. It sounds like something I would hear on a very heavy sludge metal album, but I really like it on here. It gives it a really kind of evil, deep, low sound to it. The drum from their new Brad, his drum sound is crisp, it's clear, it's not too overpowering with the snare. Everything comes through really nice in the mix with the drums. Tony Iommi's guitar sound hasn't changed a bit since the last Ozzy album or the classics like Paranoid or the self-titled. They have a really just heavy blues-inspired, great crunch to it. And finally, the production on the vocals with Ozzy. Ozzy's vocals sound great in the mix. They're not overshadowed at all. Everything on this, from the production I'm hearing, is all nice. Nothing is too high or too low. It's perfect in there. So let's get into the song. The song is part of the new album and is nearly 9 minutes in length. So with a track like this, I was interested at first if they were going to be able to pull off a 9-minute Black Sabbath song, because in 9 minutes you can either drone on one idea or combine them to make something really great with some new ideas. The album starts off with this very ominous, clean guitar sound that plays through half of the song, and then you got the drum roll going on for Brad. Brad's drums on this are very good. I'm happy. No matter how much I like drummers like, I don't know, Lyle Cooper from the Face, where it's like I'll always fucking prefer, especially on like Black Sabbath records, simple but still captivating drums. And Brad pulls this off, sounding like he was a member from Black Sabbath from the moment they started. Like I said, Geezer, he comes up with some really great bass lines on this song. Especially like the one once I'll get to that part in a minute, but once it hits, he comes up with this really creative, almost not scale but lead based bass riff, which kind of takes over the song, which I thought was really fucking awesome. And even when the softer moment through half of the song, he really has this really ominous, evil sounding lines coming out of the bass. Tony's Iommi, legendary guitarist. He does a great job here. He has this clean riff that's played throughout, which is really like dark and ominous, but also very crisp and very melodic at the same time. And after this certain moment of the song, he just overrides with just classic headbanging Sabbath riffs. Very blues inspired. There's a quick, cool power chord that he plays in the beginning of the song where the drum rolls are being played. Ozzy, he's never sounded this good in so long. It's great to hear Ozzy going back into something he really knows, and Ozzy knows this, especially with Black Sabbath, that he needs to stick within his range and, something that's capable without going too far, and he nails it on the fucking head. I mean, his lyrics on this are also pretty good. It's pretty post-apocalyptic, kind of sinister lyrics, and his voice just carries beautifully throughout this. It's dark. It's a little bit melodic and sinister. It's a little bit of a mixture of melodic and sinister. He also hits some nice medium-high notes. Great. So for the progression and crafting of the song itself, it's well executed. It starts off, it's almost like a build up all the way to the end. Starts off with some power chords that sound really evil, then goes for about 3 minutes switching between those heavy power chords to the really dark, clean tone riff that Tony's playing constantly throughout the song, which just sounds great. And then at the 6:20 mark, it just goes on full on heavy metal classic. And this is Sabbath we're talking about, so we're getting very blues inspired riffs coming in with a great lead bass line from Geezer and some very nice simple but very powerful drumming coming from Brad, and Ozzy doing his vocals, which sound great. I mean, Ozzy will always fit the best with Black Sabbath as far as vocal lines go, because the music's sinister and moody and a little bit ambient, and that's exactly how Ozzy's vocals are here. And like I said, the progression itself is just great. Starts off slow but very intriguing, like you're intrigued. It's almost like, I'll reference Explosions to the Sky here, where it builds up to that certain point and then it just all releases into something orgasmic, and it happens beautifully on the song. Once it hits that 6:20 mark, all of a sudden everything you loved about heavy metal, classic in particular, is right there from 6:20 on. Strong 9 out of 10 track, really enjoyable. Subscribe and comment, keep it metal, peace.